Hello, people of the internet. You are back here with Uncle Steve's Card Shop, where we just got through our last spending show, and I went ahead and bought all of this. So, this is pretty much everything I bought this weekend that is of value. These are all slabs worth over $100. Some of these are actually going to hit the four-figure range. The exclusion that I'm missing here is one Lily's Clefairy, which is currently being held by family. They love Lily's Clefairy. I'm cool with that. No worries. But let's go ahead and get right into it. And so, I'm going to go over 3 key metrics we're going to keep track of throughout this video. Metric 1, value. That's going to be the value of the current card as of September 8th of this current year at 6:10 p.m. Probably going to be around 7 by the time I finish filming all of this. But let's just let you know what the card's currently worth. Metric 2, it's going to be how much I paid. Obviously, I feel like you guys, if you want to vend, want to get the sort of idea for what I paid. This also gives you, if you're a buyer, insight to a percent-ish for what someone may pay for the sort of card you might be looking for. Number 3 is going to be value accrued. Value accrued is the difference between value and the difference between what I paid. Obviously, for me, that is going to be something that I consider extremely valuable. Because throughout the show, I might have sold $1,200 to $2,000 worth of cards. And that's great and all, but at a 10 to 20% range of profit, not to mention trades, that's not quite enough to cover the show almost. Maybe it's pretty close. So value accrued is how you end up getting to make your shows worth something. For me, value accrued is the number 1 metric. So let's go ahead and get into it. So first card's up. First card we obtained, maybe something some people highly desire. This is going to be the Palkia V-Star Universe. From, of course, V-Star Universe. This card was obtained from a vendor who was attempting to make a quota, as he put it, and he wanted to go ahead and sell me some stuff for a pretty good percent. I believe he traded me at 80% of what the card was worth on that day. Overall, I just checked what the card's worth. This card is currently worth $100. We paid, as I'm keeping track on the back here, $75. Not too shabby. We start off with $25 accrued. Let's go ahead and get to our next card. So, the next card is actually something for my personal collection. I don't know if I plan to sell it. At the time, I thought it was a good deal too, but this card also represents how vendors can also make mistakes. I don't know everything. I don't have a crystal ball for how things are going to turn out. But let's go ahead and get to it. This is Taggable Pikachu. Well, more specifically, it should be Pikachu Zekrom Tag Team. This card is a beautiful card. I love all the tag teams. Tag teams in Japanese have not shot up yet. People believe that this card should go up. The vendor was shocked at the price it was going for. I'm shocked, as of filming this video, that the card's actually gone down in price. I paid $90. Card, as of looking right here on Misprint, which has been more consistent as of late, is going for about $83, $84, $85 on the last 3 sales. So, looks like I lost on this one. This is a loss of value. Damn it. So, next card is actually one I forgot to put the paid tag on, but I went ahead and looked up what I got it for. Surprisingly, I got this one for a really good price. And so, this is, of course, Japanese Ruler of the Black Flame Charizard in a pristine CGC 10. This card I am pretty shocked that the vendor did not want. I guess, as his words put it, I absolutely hate this card, please take it off my hands. So, me being who I was, I of course was interested in the card, picked it up for that exact reason. current value of the card. Let me go ahead and calculate that. I'll be right back. I'm going to go ahead and let you guys come to a conclusion, but these are our last sales on Ult. Let's see if I can get that to focus here. Alright, we got it good. These are the last sales on Ult. I'd have a hard time pricing this exactly, with the Ult auction being one of them, but overall, I would price this around, let's say, $350 to get between all those numbers. On that specific day, we priced it out at 320. He only wanted 70%. That's all I was going to give him because I don't care usually get pristine 10s from CGC. So he got $224 out of me, and I accrued a pretty fat amount off this guy. Hopefully he gets to move on sometime in the near future to someone who's absolutely going to love him. And this next card is similar to our first card. In the same deal, I purchased this for myself. This is a PC. This is actually my favorite Pokemon. So, during the show, because I got one of my holy grails, which you will see pretty much near the end of this video, you're going to go ahead and see just how crazy I am about my favorite boy here. And so, obviously, this is Fossil Dragonite. In Japanese, I have a really big affinity for the Japanese language. Very specifically, the Japanese cards look absolutely great. The writing looks absolutely great. I can't get it as good in this camera with the lighting in this room. Card looks amazing. Doing my best for you guys. And some of you might know that I have an affinity for the Japanese language, because before in one of my Vendor Collector videos, I showed off my holy grail for Lugia. This is one of my biggest beloved cards. But yeah, let's go ahead and get to my next let's go ahead and get to my next card. Wait. I almost forgot. I still have to give you guys value and everything else for this nice pretty boy. Give me just a moment. So, we valued this Dragonite just at 150. He came in from a trade actually for the vendor, along with that Arceus. So, 150, 80% trade. We got 120 value. Or we paid 120 in value to him, $30 accrued. Pretty freaking good, all things considered. And that card could very well end up in my PC. I gotta make that decision at some point very soon. And our next card comes in at a straight trade. I traded this because I had a really low pop card a fellow vendor actually beloved and really wanted. And I believe you should work with each other, help each other get what you want at a very fair and reasonable price if you can make something work for it. So we straight traded a few cards. The other two cards he traded as part of the deal are gone, and Lily's Clefairy I already mentioned, which was also part of the deal. But this card is actually a really cool card. I'm happy I have it, and he threw in the guard, so I appreciate it. And so we're continuing on with our vintage trend. This is, of course, by Red Leaf Green, Zapdos EX. Zapdos EX is a beautiful, beautiful card. EX cards have really cool foiling. My buddy threw in the guard. All things worked out. If you're curious about what he traded for a really old Lugia. Let me go ahead and find you a picture real quick. So we're going to do our best here, but this is Call of Legends Lugia. Can we? Let's see. Oh, come on, buddy. This is what my buddy traded for. Sorry to dim the lights on you, but that was the best way I felt to show you guys the card. I'm going to go ahead and fix this all. Everything looks jank now, but yeah. Thank you guys. I'll be right back with you. Oh, and value accrued is obviously 0. And obviously, I straight traded him, so $225 for that. However, the value on the Lugia that I just showed you, I traded for it. Yeah, I gave him $680 total for his card. So you could consider me being able to trade out at $850 the value, which that's how I would personally calculate that math. So being able to trade out of it is $170 of accrued value, and that's how I'm going to add it for this video. Hopefully that helps you guys out, but that's why numbers, wherever I end up putting them in editing, are going to change. Alright, let's get to the next card. And our next card is a card that we actually got to buy from a walker at the show for 85% of its value at the time. Let's go ahead and get right into what will be your most standard pickup at the show, hopefully. the kind of thing where you really hope that people will bring you cards and you're not just making vendor-to-vendor trades like a lot of this video is going to be. This card is, of course, a Special Illustration Collection Kingdra in a PSA 10. Really, really, really sick card. We valued it on that day at $320. I paid $272. Let's go ahead and see just what this beautiful, beautiful boy is worth today. So, we got recent sales over here for $315, $359, $355, and $355. That's a pretty consistent $355 price point. That's what I'm going to consider it worth. So, we paid $277, or no, $272? $272, right? $272. If you guys can read my handwriting. $272 minus $355, as I just said. That is a total value accrued of $83. And that, for me, is a big W, assuming I can sell it for around that value accrued. Or for around that profit margin. However you may want to look at that. That would be a profit margin, technically. Alright, next card. Let's go. And then this next card is another card I picked up at 80%. Funny story for this card, however, but I'll get into that while I'm talking about the card. Let's go ahead and show you guys exactly who I got. So, of course, the card you saw here, Black Star Promo Dragonite, in a PSA 10. Absolutely love this card. This card just looks so sick in the light. My family's actually commandeering this card, so it seems that it's been decided that this is PC now. Every Dragonite's hard for me to sell, so I'm not complaining that this is PC potentially. But yeah. Funny story for this card. Vendor did not want to have this card. He was doing a bulk deal to get 3 cards, one for his PC, one for his buddy's PC, and one just because it was good value and had a very rare graded card on it, I suppose. So this boy was outfitted with his nice, pretty graded card. I watched the deal go down because I was walking the show with the show being slow. Afterwards, I tried to strike a deal with him for my Umbreon Darkrai tag team. Didn't work out. He saw I was interested in this card. He said, do you want to buy it at the price I got it at? I bought it for the guard. I got it for 80%, he said. And so, I paid $290 at the time. I wasn't sure if I was getting fleeced in all honesty, but I knew the vendor somewhat. Upon checking here, we got sales for $326, $400, $356, $356, $355. Let's just say the card's worth about $350 then. So $350 minus my $290, which I showed here. And we got a accrued value of $60. So thank you to that vendor. Thank you for helping most likely my PC grow. Let's go ahead and get to the next one. Next card is pretty funny. It's a card I didn't want. I offered my lower percent than usual. I let the guy know, hey, I'm really not interested in the card, but if you want to sell it to me, I will give you a price because it's still vintage. It's not going to be easy to sell, so for me, I didn't want to give a crazy percent. And shockingly, he walked the entire show. And supposedly, at least according to him, not a single other vendor wanted it. So he took my deal. So, let's go ahead and show you guys just what I got. And so we got a piece of childhood here. This is, of course, First Ed Yellow Cheeks Pikachu. He's a really cute boy. Obviously, vintage like this, First Ed adds a premium to it, and it becomes difficult to sell for those reasons. I'm not sure when this guy's going to sell, in all honesty. I'm not sure what he's even worth at this exact moment. Let's go ahead and take a look. But first, I'm going to let you guys know, I paid $280 on him. I'm going to look him up, comp him, be right back. And so, the verdict is in. We have $339, most recent sale this month. Month before that, $450. Month before that, $450. And 3 days before that, we have $599. Price that however you will. I likely will take the most recent comp, but most likely I will ask the higher price point to try and make it worth it. So if I consider the card, let's say $3.99, I think the last three sales, $3.99, $3.99, and $3.99, $4.50, $4.50, $4.50, $4.50, divided by 3, that averages out to $4.33 in value, or $4.33. Obviously, I showed you, I paid $2.80 on them, and so I made $153, assuming I can sell at the average of the last 3 comps. It's going to be really hard to do that, honestly, so more likely a number will go lower, but for the sake of the video, we're going to add that as the value accrued. And yeah, that's going to be the risk of vintage, but that's also the point of why I take vintage, because I can offer the lower percent, get the card in. Everyone's happy because vintage, I guess no other vendor really wants to take. I don't know. But yeah, let's go on and get to the next card. This next card is going to be a bit of a throwback already to earlier in this video. Y'all may laugh, but let's go ahead and show you guys why I think this is going to be potentially funny for you. Yeah, I'm cosplaying Dragonite, and I picked up also Dragonite, this time in English, and First Ed. This was, once again, a vendor trying to move on his vintage. Vintage doesn't move for him. He wasn't feeling it. He had the card valued at $400 on the day. I traded him for $300. Let's go ahead and... Actually, I didn't trade him. I purchased it straight off of him for $300. Let's go ahead and see if that was a good decision real quick. And so, last sold on PSA 8s. Let's see, we have the 7th for $500. We have the 4th rather for $391, and we have the 2nd for $453. Let's average those 3 out. $391 and $453 and 50 cents, but we'll just round down to $450, I suppose. Divide that by 3. We have $447. Let's just say $450 to make numbers and life easier on me. Paid $300, and so accrued value $150. Pretty good. Great deal for my PC, but I have to decide if this boy is part of my PC or not, don't I? Why do I have to love Dragonite so much? This is gonna be quite the hard choice, honestly. But let's get to the next card. This next card is going to be a little obscure. A little weird. I got it for a decent deal. It came from the same guy that sold me the Lugia, which you guys, again, can imagine that card's a little out there, you know. Let me just show you guys what I mean. And so, as you guys can see, this is Blastoise? Some sort of Blastoise promo? I don't know a ton about this card, honestly. This is a Blastoise promo from 2019, as I can tell from the card. He looks really cool. He's a Blastoise, but he's pretty damn obscure. I like the card, so I'm pretty happy to own it in some ways. I don't know if I got fleeced, though. Let's find out if I got cooked or not, alright? Alright. I paid $320 for the card. Let's go ahead and see if I got cooked. And so, recent sales on this boy, as of what my phone is saying here. We have this month on the 2nd for $425. We have last month on the 18th for $372, and the time before that at $450. I will go ahead and comp this out. For simple math, let's do $415. We have $415 is what I consider the card worth today. I paid $320. I paid pretty strong on this, didn't I? That is $95 accrued value. Throw that up on the board. Hopefully we did alright, all things considered. Really obscure card, really cool card, and I like cards worth over $300. That's pretty much what the goal is for my future endeavors. Logic behind that is when 1 card sells, 2 cards sell, it starts to pay for the whole table. Your trades start to get more value. you get known more so for the high-end space, which makes this a little easier. And if you're good to work with, which I hope people would consider me good to work with, I have a decent amount of repeat customers at vending events. Hopefully that reputation is a positive. We're getting some pretty big cards though now, guys, because my sticker at the show when I had this was $450, just because I saw the last sales and I knew I had to haggle. And I'm going it pretty much in order of value, so every card from now on is going to worth more than $450. And this next card is a play on my speculation on the Japanese market, the fact that I haven't seen this set get reprinted yet, the fact that I think this card is woefully undervalued compared to the English equivalent, and because I really freaking want it. I have no idea if I'm keeping it. I probably am going to keep it unless I see the set get reprinted. Let's show you the card. This is one of my favorite pickups of over the weekend. Obviously, this is Sunbreon. Sunbreon, I believe, is woefully undervalued, in my opinion. Terrestrial has not been reprinted in a hot minute over in Japan, meaning the supply is drying up on this card in Fury and raw copies, meaning there's going to be less 10s, meaning we might start being close to, the limit. Honestly, I hope they reprint Terrestrial because I'd rather have more for the sealed side of things, but as a piece of Terrestrial and as a piece of Scarlet and Violet, and as my favorite card probably in all of the Scarlet and Violet era, I am really happy to have this. I paid $400 for it. This was a vendor-to-vendor deal. I walked over to a vendor. He had a price $450. I asked for $400. He checked comps. He struggled with it a little. He ate it because our show was considered slow. People like to make a dollar amount, I guess, per show, which I get. But for me, it's a little short term if you're just looking at short-term dollars made over a weekend. I think overall value accrued, as I like to call it. But more so, the value of your collection needs to grow over time because the value of your collection means you can sell it for more later and slowly keep making that flip happen. So for me, that's going to be far more valuable. And now I have a piece of this that I don't know if I can let this card go for a while, honestly. But yeah, I'm going to follow the plan. If Terrestrial gets reprinted, this card will be put up for sale. Probably for a price where I can easily replace it. Oh my god. I love the card. I think I have said everything I have to say. Value accrued on this boy should be around $100, I want to say, based on what I last saw. Let's go ahead and do the quick comping. I paid, as I said, $400. I'm going to go ahead and pull it up right here on my phone. Let's not waste your time. I'll be right back. So we can go with the same logic we've been doing. Last three sales is $470, $490, $420. $470, $490, $420. That is $1380. Oh no, sorry. It's $1380. 5x3, $460. $460 minus my buy price of $400. $60 accrued. Pretty good deal, all things considered. This next card has a funny story behind him. I had this in my case at the start of the show. He was part of the trade for that Lugia and that Blastoise, as you saw earlier. So, of course, that is what I believe you would call Yokohama Pikachu. But it's one of the really cool Pikachu promos / stuff that comes out of one of their sealed products. I've had my eye on this forever. My original copy came from Stash and Sell. Saw a really cool vendor in the area, someone I really respect, someone I really get along with. But I sold that copy. This is a different copy. What happened was, as part of that deal, he traded for that, got the rest in cash, and I was so distraught that I went back to get this. So, the good part about that was, he traded my sticker, which was probably the highest sticker in the room for the card. I told him that the card was basically PC, so I really wanted to keep it. He said, okay, I'll trade the sticker then. I begrudgingly agreed, and on day 2 of the event, because that was on day 1, I went ahead and started scouring around for a replacement of my card. So my sticker was at 500. I stuck to it. We traded at 500 value, and I dug around pretty much everywhere around the hall until I found one sticker at 450. I showed him a listing on eBay. Lowest listing was 425. I asked him if he could do 400. He said sure, after showing him. So, I paid 400. The sticker's not on the back of the card this time, I'm sorry. But hopefully story time helps. Last 3 sales, 475, 504, and 510. Let's do 500 instead. Let's see, 500 plus 475 plus 510 divided by 3. Card's worth about 495 minus 400. Value accrued is $95. Not too bad. However, that 425, I don't know how it's not sold yet. So this average is going to go down in the very near future. Worst case, I made $25, but we're going to go off the last 3 sales, and hopefully the card continues to go up, all things considered. And my next card is a story you've heard multiple times in this video, frankly. I made a straight deal with a vendor. He liked one of my cards, or he liked several of my cards in this case, some raws and some slabs. I liked one of his cards, and I wanted to add it to my PC. I'm sure at this point you could probably guess which Pokemon I'm always looking to add to my PC, aren't you? Can't you guys? You can just look at me. You know exactly what I want, don't you? Alright, let's show you the card. And so, like I told you guys, this came as a vendor-to-vendor deal. My partner, well, not my partner, but the person in the table right next to me, Dewey, traded me this at 550 value. I'm pretty happy about it, all things considered. Dewey was a really cool guy. Uncle Steve, who was next to me also, was getting a bit of a chuckle that I found another Dragonite to add to my collection in the same show. My Dragonite collection is growing. I didn't have much of one before, despite him being my favorite Pokemon. But I told myself, like I said earlier in this video, I believe, if I find one specific Dragonite in a PSA 10, that's going to start the collection. And we still haven't gotten to that card yet. Oh, and obviously, accrued value for that, 0. I moved cards on at my sticker. He moved the card on at his sticker. Didn't get any value for it. Happy cash out, but take that however you will. Alright, next card. This next card was the last deal of the day. Someone came in with maybe 5 minutes, 10 minutes left in the show. I was in the middle of packing up. He came in asking if I would like to buy his card. He really wanted cash for his card. I was really interested. I asked if there was anything he'd be interested in trade, because I didn't want to buy at expressly 85%. He said, yeah, I'll take this, this, and this. 3 cards specifically. No. It was 2 cards. He was in an Undaunted Espeon, which would have been in this video as part of the deal with Doug Trio, a vendor in our area, who did the Zapdos, the Clefairy, Lily's Clefairy, and some other stuff for the Lugia. I would have been part of it, and also a Sylveon from Billion Star Sylveon. So, took those on. He was really happy to get them, and he traded us something honestly beautiful, and I paid the rest out in cash, because at that point, I was happy to make the deal work for everyone, and 85% isn't too bad for a grail like this. And so, the second tag team of the video. Obviously, I think this card is sick. Let's see how cooked I got, though. I have no idea how cooked I got. I took his word at the value of the card at the time, and I paid $553 worth of value. I gotta see if I got cooked. And so, this might be my second cooking of the video. We have an auction for the 8th, sold at $430. That's pretty bad for me. We have another auction at $496. Not great for me again, because that's under what I paid for it. And before that, we have 3 sales. $700 or $695, $550, $564. Obviously, that's what I'm going to have to price the card at to have it in my case. A little painful. This is going to be a loss of value, most likely. But that is going to be part of vending. That's going to be part of being aggressive as I was. And honestly, at some point, I kind of deserve that. Plus 495, let's just say 496, closer to 495. Let's just do that. And the third value was 695. 695 divided by 3. This is 540 in value. $13 off in value. So that would be a loss of $13 on my value accrued. Womp womp. I was pretty freaking aggressive about this card. And so our next 2 cards are Vivintagey. They came from a deal with another vendor who didn't get set up on that day, but wanted to move some cards around, wanted to get some free cash flow. I cashed them on this a little strong. I think it's around 85-ish%, I want to say. Again, a little scary for what I'm picking up, but for this nice little video, I feel like you guys might enjoy what I have to show you. And so, card is Mega Sceptile from Ancient Origins. Pretty damn great copy out of PSA 9. Graded card included with the price. But I paid strong on this. I actually only had the deal together for what I paid for the 2 cards, so I kinda averaged out the 2. But the second card is going to be worth a pretty penny more. But yeah, let's go ahead and see if I got cooked. I put that I paid $680, but overall we should do the 2 cards together between these next 2 cards. So I'm just going to treat it as $680, but in the end the numbers will be about right because I have the total value of what I paid. And so we only have 2 really relevant sales here. We have a 510 sale and a 800 sale. I guess you could argue we have 3. The 338 is probably valid enough, being on the 7th of last month. So let's go ahead and average these 3 out. That 338 is scaring me. 338, 800, and 510. Divided by 3, we're at 550. So a loss of 130 on this card overall. But, like I said, we put the 2 together. So let's go ahead and see just what the next card is looking like. Also, graded cards were included, so I'll throw that a little bit back in my favor. But let's see how much value the next card got. And so, I'm going to go over 3 key metrics we're going to keep track of throughout this video. Metric 1, value. That's going to be the value of the current card as of September 8th of this. And so we're down to our last 3 cards, and as you just saw, the card is EX Blaziken from Team Magma and versus Team Aqua. Beautiful PSA 9 copy, graded card included, like I just said. Let's see if I got cooked on this one though, because frankly, I'm getting a little worried because of that big old negative number I saw. I paid $680. Let's see what the card's worth. Oh, sweet Jesus. We have a sale for $950 on 7/31, and we have and that's it. The other sale is a Beckett 9. We do not count that. Card is worth $950. There's no other sale. $950 minus $680 gets us $270, which if I subtract the loss of the other card, overall, we thankfully end up, I believe, with a profit of $110, if I'm doing my math correctly in my nervous attempt to film a YouTube video with you guys while showing you some pretty cards while feeling self-conscious about my life choices, you know. And so, our next card is the second most valuable card I picked up over the weekend. And it is the Dragonite that started off my collection over the weekend, and one that could be a really unhealthy addiction. This is, of course, my Grail 1998's Game Boy promo Dragonite. I saw this card once online, absolutely fell in love with it. The other card that I love is Blue Sky Scream Dragonite. Those are probably my top two favorite Dragonites. Blue Sky Scream Dragonite hasn't been able to stay in my collection, sadly. Every time I got him, someone would sell him for, or someone would pay my exact sticker price at a show, and I just was forced to let go of him. And I told myself I wasn't starting a Dragonite collection because it would not be good for me unless I got this boy specifically in a 10. And obviously now, as you can see, he's here. This boy I paid a very healthy penny on. I paid $10.50 on him. I remember what I paid on him because it was a very momentous occasion. So I don't have the sticker on it because PC, not remotely for sale. Don't even plan to put him out for the same way I was saying for the other cards because it's not readily able to be replaced even. So $10.50. Let me go ahead and comp just how much I'm gonna guess I got cooked on. While my phone loads, further story for this. I was actually walking around like I was on the second day, saw a vendor with this card. We chatted about it. He was talking about how this very well could end up in his personal collection. He mentioned that he really didn't even want to sell it unless he could see exactly what the comps turned out to be on some auctions. So we were getting a little, I was getting a little antsy rather because card could very well go up. He was asking $1,200 at the time, I want to say. And I talked him down a little bit, as you see. Now I'm going to go ahead and see what those auctions turned into. Auctions turned into $10.25, $10.75, and $10.25. Not terrible. I basically paid full sticker. I'd say I basically paid full sticker on it, so $10.25 card, probably lost $25 of value, let's just say. It's fine with me. I don't care. That's my baby. So yeah. Let's go ahead and get the last card of the day, shall we? The card that honestly, I paid the exact same price on, which I'll spoil right now. But this is a big grail. And of course, this Pokemon probably needs no introduction. It's Charizard. 151 Charizard is the most valuable card I picked up over the weekend. I talked down to the vendor who was walking around, who wanted to really sell this for a pretty good price. He wanted $1,100. I talked him at $10.50. Let's see if the comps are still holding up though, because this is one of the most graded cards on the planet. 151 is currently surging, but who knows if these comps are actually holding. I paid $10.50. Let's go look. The most recent comps I am seeing right now is $11.90, $11.75, $10.84, and then we have $12.25, $11.34, $12.50s. Let's take the last three as I've been doing: $11.90, $11.75, and $10.85. Divided by 3, we're at $11.50 in value. I paid $10.50. Not too bad. So all things considered, like I said, $100 accrued value. That is every single card I picked up over the weekend. I spent a stupid amount of money. I know, guys. Hopefully I can make some of it back. Hopefully Sealed Game keeps saving me. Hopefully you guys decide to buy more stuff from UncleSteve'sCardShop.com so I can buy some more stupid amount of slabs because I love Pokemon way too much. Oh boy. I don't know how I'm going to move all this stuff, honestly. It's going to be a little brutal. But yeah, that's pretty much everything. I'm going to go ahead and throw it over to me on this PC over yonder. It's say goodbye to you guys because it's going to be easier for me to know all the numbers and everything after post and everything.
So we're over here by the PC. Final tally. I spent 6,000. I spent 6,784 based on my quick calculator math. The value of all the cards gotten is 8519. And so those together 6, 7, 8, 4, 9. We have a total profit of 1735. Is how much money that I expect to make, hopefully in the long term, with everything I picked up. The value of all the cards gotten. This is how much money I put out. Hopefully this video was enjoyable for you guys. This is a very new video for me. If it picks up, great. I'll probably make more. If not, I'll probably tweak the format, do something similar in the future, because this is good for me to remember exactly what I got, which is just a helpful link for my Pokemon business. If you'd like to support me, Uncle Steve's Card Shop is obviously the easiest way to, where I sell Japanese, JP, and Korean booster boxes. I also can go ahead and sell Chinese in the near future, depending on what people are looking for, but the price on these is pretty dang high, and hopefully Japanese doesn't follow too far with tariffs. Thank you everyone for watching. Appreciate you guys. It's been a long video. It's been a long day. I hope a little bit of it was entertaining. Thank you so much. Have a good night.